This video is about a jig that will make the saddle seat on a stool. So if you want to make some stools and you want to put a little sweep in this little saddle, then this little jig will help you out. It's pretty easy to make. It's just made out of scrap wood. Okay. First off, you want to take and get a piece of 3/4. Just cut a piece of 3/4 clear, something clear with no knots or anything, so it's a nice straight bend or consistent bend. You want to put a couple slots at the end of the bow so you can pull the string and get the bow that you want. And what that is what you put up against a 1x4 piece of strapping or pine or anything you have available. Okay, and you want to marry two pieces of wood up together and cut these so they're both identical. Okay, this is about 3/4 inch right here in depth. Okay, the whole thing is 37.5 inches long, including the cleats at the end. You want to come in off the end of this board here, 3 inches on both ends, and then that's where you're going to start your curve, and that's where the bow goes up against on that piece of wood. On both ends you do 3 inches in, and then you run it like that, and you draw your line and you cut it. You cut it on a bandsaw, or you can use whatever tool you need, whatever you have available. Okay, these are just cleats on the inside to hold the whole thing together. You can, this is where your work will go, in between here. What I do is I screw this thing right to the table so it don't move when I'm using it. Okay, it's 19 3/4 inches wide, okay, and 37.5 inches long. And then you make a carriage. Now this carriage is whatever, you make a box to sit your router on. Okay, your router is going to sit in this here, and you put a hole in this, and that's where you sit your router. Okay, and these are just guides that ride along like this here. Okay, now you can make this box any height you want, because I'm not sure what size seat you're going to make, but for mine, the 3/4 height here and the height I have here worked well. And I put a couple of dowels here and here, and what that does is make a stop, so when you slide this back and forth, it can't run off the end. Otherwise you're gonna if you didn't have that, you could end up like this, and your router would be maybe doing some things you didn't want it to do. Let's see, what else can I tell you about this? This is about 1 3/4 inches. You can make it 2 inches. You make this box, and then you attach your cleats to it and just screw them on, or your guides, or your runners, whatever you want to call these things. I'm not sure about the names. It's just an idea I come up with, and it works really good. My seats were about 1 inch, 1 1/4 inches. So the height that I had here was enough to clear my wood that would be under here. But you can adjust these, the depth of this and the height of this, to go wherever you want. Okay. The distance between the box I have here is 9 inches. Okay. Let's see, the distance between the swoop is 30 inches. That's 30 inches, and this is 9 inches, and that works out well for a 15.5 inch length in your seat. So that's what I ended up with. You can see how that looks. And it gives it a pretty nice look. Now I'll put some measurements in this video, so you can maybe use the measurements instead of listening to all this all over again. So anyway, that's a jig that I built, and it works well. I'll put the router on there. The router sits in there like that, and it just goes back and forth. and you drop the router about 1/8 of an inch with each pass after you go through the board and get your first cut. Then you drop it 1/8 of an inch and finish back and forth. And I just go up and down like this here until I get to the end with my board. Then I drop it 1/8 of an inch and keep going until I see that I got what I want. Anyway, that's how you do that. And this works out really good. Alright, thanks for watching.